Hey everybody, I'm Matt Birch. I teach economics here in the business department. And we also have Dr. Jesus Carmona in here with us. He is our data analytics director. And you are all in Frex, hoping to learn a little bit about business majors and what we do. Or for a couple of you, I saw you had something else. I saw some kinesiology, I saw some physics, I saw some music. So you're probably here to talk about business minors, presumably? Or is that me jumping to conclusions? I don't know. It'll be something like that. So let's talk a little bit about our program and some of the options. I'm going to start with the majors, but I'll get to the minors. It's pretty similar to the business core curriculum. Let's see. Show of hands, though. How many of you have already decided, like, you're going to be a business major for sure? Anyone? Wow. The other group was like totally 100% all in, but okay. You guys are the skeptics. Let's do this then. So, in the business program, we are going to try to train you to get a job working for a business, basically. And that can involve lots of different roles. In the business world, they need people who track their money and resources and make sure that nothing's getting lost or stolen or mismanaged. And so they need accountants. We have an accounting program that helps us to be able to do that. You can either do a 4-year option where it's a BBA with an accounting specialization, or you can also tap into the master's program and get a 5-year degree, which includes both the BBA in accounting, plus a master's in accountancy, which gets you prepped for the CPA exam and gets you all ready to jump in head first into doing all that accounting stuff. We have an econ program where in economics, we study why people make the choices they make, which is useful in a business if you know the kinds of things that will attract customers or the kinds of things that will inspire employees to work harder, or if you can try to figure out which market you want to open up a new firm into, stuff like that, or government questions of like different policies and their pros and cons. For a lot of that stuff, you might be interested in going into econ. If you're interested in where businesses get their money to pay for new factories or new divisions or departments, like how they finance and pay for everything, you're talking about finance. Also, the whole investing world is more related to finance than anything else in our department. There's international business, for if you're looking to work overseas or work with companies that cross international borders. There's management, which I don't know if people always think about this really accurately for what it is, but it's going to involve managing a company. But what does that mean? You're dealing with supply chain issues and how to make sure that the different stuff you need gets where it needs to go. You're going to be dealing with some human resource stuff, making sure that the people have the resources they need and they're being treated the way they ought to be treated. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff at a business, making sure that things are just running smoothly. There's marketing, which is about learning how to attract your customers, either by teaching them something they didn't know or just by showing off and making them want your product better. And there is social innovation and social entrepreneurship, which this one's a little bit more to the side from some of the others, but basically you're going to be dealing with a lot of businesses are nonprofits, and so they have kind of different goals. Some of them can be pretty philanthropic. Some of them can be targeting underprivileged individuals or doing some sort of like giving back to the community kind of feel. Businesses do that too, depending on the business. And so the social entrepreneurship specialization is good for feeding you into that. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 concentrations. So they're all business administration degrees, but there's 7 different versions of it. So you can specialize in whatever you like. You can also pick and choose. A lot of students do finance and econ, for instance, because finance students have to take a whole bunch of econ classes. And so it's not too hard to take both. And there's other pairings like that as well. We have 2 master's programs that our students often do. There's the accounting one, which I mentioned earlier, where if you start soon and plan your schedule right, you can get your bachelor's and your master's degree in 5 years and be ready for your CPA exam and be ready to jump into the business world head first. And we also have a data analytics program, which can also be done in 5 years. And we have Dr. Carmona with us, who's the data analytics director. So I'm going to turn the time over to him for a couple minutes. Tell us whatever you want to tell us about data analytics.
Hey, thank you, Matt. So yeah, actually, data analytics is just going to prepare you to handle and manipulate data, collect data to make decisions. So it doesn't really matter if you're going to be on the finance side or if you're going to be on the management side. You're going to end up using data to make decisions. And the data analytics program is just going to prepare you to actually collect and analyze the data. So now data is coming from a lot of different places nowadays. So in the past, it was very easy to just jump and see the data that you have within the business. But nowadays, the data is coming from different places. So we all have social networking places, right, that we use. And guess what? I mean, people in there, I don't know if you have like, well, they tell me the Facebook is for all people. I don't know. Do you, Dr. Breach, have a Facebook account?
I do.
Oh, man.
I'm currently fasting. I logged out,
but whatever type of social network you have, people is going to be collecting information about you because you don't really pay a cent to keep that platform, right? So what these companies are doing are actually collecting information. So if, for example, you want to go into the marketing side, you can, if you post, for example, a picture of you in a football game drinking Coke, then guess what? We have what we call artificial intelligence, that we can analyze a picture and then target you with some specific items that we know you're going to like, because we know that you like Coke because you're holding a Coke, and we know that you like football, so we can target you directly. And there's a bunch of different techniques that we can use to do that when we're doing data analytics. So again, it doesn't really matter. I mean, kinesiology, I see Brianna, you want to go into kinesiology. There's a lot of things that you can do with data analytics, like analyze. I don't know if you have seen the movie Moneyball, but that is something that, I mean, you can do with data analytics, you know, analyze not only the games, but you can analyze the different movements of the body and what is going to be more efficient, things like that, that you're going to be able to manipulate the data. So again, no matter where you go into management, economics, finance, you're gonna be able to actually use data analytics. And one of the big advantages that we have in here is that you can do it in 5 years. So if you are on the business side, or if you're on the computer science side, if you're on the math side, information systems, so it's just going to be very easy for you to transition. If you are in other majors like kinesiology and music, you can still do it, but maybe you're going to have to take some prereq courses, like maybe statistics, business statistics, and things like that, so you can be up to par. But again, no matter what you do, no matter what you end up, if you have the ability to manage data, is going to be very, very important for you. So I will recommend, if you have any questions, you can just always come into my office. We can talk a little bit about how you can target that data analytics major, data analytics masters. And no matter what your major is, you can just come and talk to me, and we'll see if we can fit you into the program in there as well. But thank you very much for coming here, and Dr. Birch. So I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you
Unless
very
you have
much.
any questions, some of you have any questions, just go ahead.
Any data questions? All right. So I will say, I do try to funnel some of my students into the data analytics program also. In economics, we deal with a lot of data work ourselves. And well, with the master's program, you can go a lot farther into it than you can in a bachelor's program. And so I try to get some of my students to go into that as well, because that's something that firms everywhere need a lot of. Data is kind of everywhere, and it's super important for businesses to figure it all out, like he said. So yeah, I dig it. Anyway, let's get to some of the nitty-gritty stuff. If you're going to join the business program, let's come back to undergrad for a minute. You might be wondering where to start. And I have some good news for you. Whether you are certain which specialization you want, or whether you have no idea which specialization you want, it doesn't really matter yet. During your freshman year, we all have a common starting place. There is a core curriculum for business where you need to take, like, there's 8 classes that are shared by all of the business programs. They all have to take a couple of accounting classes. They all have to take marketing. They all have to take management. They all have to take finance. They all have to take international business. In the supporting coursework, they also all have to take economics. They all have to take stats. They all have to take quant. And they'll all have to take a strategy class. So starting with like your accounting classes, some of your math classes, or your entry-level econ class, it doesn't matter which specialization you're eventually going to go into, you're going to need all that anyway. And so we can start by taking these core classes, which cover almost all the areas. There's marketing, management, international business, finance. Okay, like it's all there. We can start with our core classes, which are listed in the course catalog. And somewhere along the way, you will have to make a choice eventually. But if you're not sure yet, that's okay. Just get started. My recommendation when I advise students is do stuff that are prerequisites first. It sounds really obvious, but a lot of students don't do it. So start with your accounting classes. An econ class, probably somewhere in your early first or second year, and getting your math done. If you're a business major, you'll have to take statistics and business calculus at some point. The sooner you get it done, the sooner your prereqs for other later classes are done. And then you won't run into problems later. So just trust me on that. If you do your prereqs early, you'll never regret it. For those of you who are business minors, potentially, a lot of what I just said still applies. The business minor has 2 accounting classes, a management class, a marketing class, finance, and econ. So it sounds a lot like the core curriculum for business. It's just not the whole thing. And what this is going to do for you is you get to specialize in whatever you want. Some of you are in here for physics. Some of you are in here for biology. Some of you are in here for music. Some of you are in here for kinesiology. That's great. Like, we need people who are good at lots of different things. But having some basic business literacy is going to help you later. Because wherever you go, you're going to get a paycheck from someone, and it's going to be part of a business. And having a basic understanding of what's going on within that business, some basic knowledge of, I don't know. I gotta see. What were those classes? I said accounting, management, marketing, econ, finance. So a little bit of everything. the more you know about how the business works, the easier it'll be for you to thrive there. I've talked to some people who, as like a kinesiology major, they're interested in becoming a personal trainer or something, but they also are thinking maybe at some point they want to run their own gym or have something like that. And if that's you, then you like really might want to consider having a business minor or even getting a full business degree also, because the knowledge you'll pick up there will help you in your career. You can apply that to whatever your own respective field is as well. All right, let's see. Any blah, blah, blah. All right, I think I'm done with my spiel. Any questions or comments or clarifying remarks or philosophical musings from any of you?
I think also having a business minor. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Brenda.
I was just gonna say, because I did plan to open like a gym, or I have a nutrition shop that I plan on opening. But I also was looking to just completely switch my major to business, because that's what I wanted to go into. So what do y'all think? I really enjoy like working out and like how the body moves, but I really like marketing. Like my peer mentor is Esau Ramsey, and we were talking about data analytics and stuff like that, and he kind of pushed me in the business direction. So like, y'all have any advice or anything that kind of would like push me over there or something like that?
So, couple thoughts. One is I'm a little biased. I'll always try to get people into the business program. So, full disclosure there. But I think it's a solid investment. You're in your freshman year, so it's not going to mess up your graduation timeline or anything to change. Like that's not going to affect how long you're going to be here. You could still get like a kinesiology minor or something if you're interested in having a little nutrition shop or your own gym, have some basic understanding that way, and get a business major so you can really focus on getting the knowledge you need to set up shop on your own. I think that's a fair switch you could make. A business degree can be very useful when trying to find a job, because we learn a lot of things that are applicable to lots of different fields. Whereas if you specialize in one narrow field, your subset of jobs you're looking for is much smaller. That's not necessarily a bad thing if you really like your field, but I think the business degree sets you up for a lot of good opportunities in the future. So, for further questions, come talk.
I agree completely with Matt. Let me just tell you a little bit about that, because I agree completely with him. Because also, I mean, if you want to go into the gym, into the kinesiology, nutrition area, that's also fine. So actually just getting a minor in that area will make much more sense, because at some point in time, maybe let's say that your gym didn't work, right? So it's just going to be much easier for you to find a job as a business major. And that's also, I'm biased too, right? Because I'm in the business department, but it will be easier for you to find a job in that area, because you can go anywhere, right? So you can go into a big gym and then manage the gym in there and especially if you also get some training and some internships in that area. So that will help you too, right? So maybe you can major in business, and then your internship, you can just go into a gym or into a nutrition clinic or something like that can give you that experience in that area. But I will say that having a business major is just going to open more possibilities for you. And just like Dr. Birch, myself, I'm also biased towards business, but in data analytics, especially in that area, is going to be very important for you to really analyze the data. And you mentioned marketing. So again, that marketing and the example that I gave you a while ago, I mean, data analytics is just opening a lot of doors for you to actually start gathering information so you can market directly to customers, right? So it's very important. So that's my opinions. Hopefully that helps.
One follow-up thought, not specific to that question, Brianna, but to anyone, because we're running out of time. This was a short meeting. Whenever you have questions, come talk to faculty. It can be the faculty within a program you're interested in. It can be the faculty somewhere else. Email any of us, or if our doors are open, just stop by. We're at this university because we want to teach and work with students. If not, if we weren't interested in working with students, we'd probably be at somewhere else. I could be like a full-time economist just crunching numbers for some big credit card company or something, rolling in money in Ohio, but I like students instead. So, yeah, feel free to come by and ask us, because we'd like to give you good info. What are our emails? Well, I'll send mine out, and then you'll have to just kind of search for the professors on TOU's website or something. Like if you just type TOU Business Department, you can like click faculty, you'll find us all. But here is mine coming at you in the chat. Oh, and Jesus already beat me to his. So there's both of us. And then, yeah, so he does data analytics, I do econ, and we can help you get all the other ones too. But all right, so I think we are out of time. I hope this was at least somewhat interesting and informative, but if not, I hope you at least are able to finish your assignment. So guys, happy Wednesday, and I will see you all probably in a class sometime, because yeah, so, peace out.
Good day, everybody. Take care.